All right, we're gonna start by cutting out we need a 16 by 31 piece of fabric. So I'm measuring, here's my 31. I know I have enough, okay, we're good. And 16, okay, and we're good there. If you pick up a piece that's too small, please put the piece back where you got it and find a piece that's a little bit bigger. I'm going to use a mixture of tearing the fabric and rotary cutting. So I'm going to start by just tearing a straight edge. Now, because I know this fabric is woven, I know it will tear on a straight line. So I know I can trust whatever line this creates. Okay. And if you notice this fabric, it starts kind of wider and it gets narrower. So that way I know that it wasn't a straight line it was originally on. So it was important that I do that step so I have a straight grain. Okay, I'm going to start by doing my 16 inches. I'm putting one edge of the corner there and I'm going to measure over to the 16. Now, if you have a piece of fabric that doesn't have the selvage, which is that straight edge, and then you need to tear another straight edge on the other grain. So because I know I have a straight edge, we're good to go. So see, I measured 16 and I tore it. So now I have exactly 16 inches tall. Okay, now I need to work on my 31 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to line up my straight edges to the straight edges of my board, my mat. Okay, now if your edges aren't all the way straight, then you need to pull them a little bit so they are straight, or iron it so that they line up correctly. So I'm going to come over here on my mat and I'm going to find the 31. Now you'll notice I'm going to take my time here and really make sure it's really straight. I'm getting wrinkles out, I'm pulling it, I'm adjusting little tiny bits. You want to do that, make sure it's in the correct spot before I just start chopping. Okay, so my line right there is straight on. My bottom edge is straight on. Okay, so it looks really nice. And I'm grabbing that 31 line, goes all the way up, and there's another little 31 at the top, which you can't really see super great, but I'm looking at it so I know which line to be on. Again, I'm taking my time. I'm lining up my ruler. I'm checking my fabric. Please do not just start chopping up fabric willy-nilly. You need to be really precise and really careful. And then here I am applying pressure. You need to be standing. Your fingers should not be over the edge of the ruler. If you notice, if it doesn't cut all the way, go back and just recut those parts. Notice I kind of struggle here. Be really careful with your fingers. I'm trying to not cut my finger right there. And there we go. Okay, that goes back to the scraps. And now we're going to cut the pockets out of this piece of fabric. Okay, so I'm lining it up again, and I'm going to cut 6 inches off. Okay, so again, I'm taking my time, I'm lining things up, I'm showing you what you need to be doing. All right, so I find my 6-inch line, grab my ruler. My ruler also happens to be 6 inches, so if you would prefer just to use one of the 6-inch rulers, that also works. Not all of the rulers are 6 inches though, so you might, need to think of something else. Okay, and there I am, cutting nice and even, and then this pulls off, very lovely. Okay, and now I'm going to cut this pocket in half. Notice how I kind of stretched it a little bit? That's so that it lines up straight and is a nice 90-degree angle in that corner. So you can either do it at 7 or 8. If you do it at 7, your pocket will be just a little bit more square. If you do it at 8, it will be a bit more of a rectangle. I'm going to do it at 8, just so it's a little bit longer. And you're actually cutting 2 pockets. We're only going to use one, but I want you to keep the second one just in case you need it. So we're all cut out. This is what it should look like. My pocket will go in the middle right there. Don't worry, it will be kind of folded in like this. And it will be on the bag just like that. So you kind of see where we're going with the project. It'll look really nice. Okay, so once it's all cut and all smooth, you're ready to get checked off.